I had just started a new job and was trying to bond with my new colleagues in the kitchen while on a tea break. So far, so good, that is, until I needed the milk for my brew. Rather than politely asking if I could borrow it, for a reason still unknown to myself I blurted out "milk me" and followed it with a nod in the direction of the milk, only making the situation creepier and more awkward. Mine was just at my corner shop buying wine. I hadn't drank yet so was completely sober, and when the man handed me my change I meant to say "lovely, thank you" but actually said "love you." He never said it back. Once during Seeks, I used the term "twa twiffle" in between moans. It totally killed the mood. Earlier today I went to a girls' high school soccer game and there was a rough play where two players went to the ground. I guess one of them pulled the other's hair, so she gets up and says "I liked it better when your BF pulled my hair." Not even the ref knew what to do. I fainted. My mum introduced me to the students that are staying with us earlier when I had makeup on, and I've just came down after my shower with wet hair and they introduced themselves again. I'm the same person. FS. Went to cringily change the name of a girl I was unrequitedly in love with in my phone to "still love you," but accidentally sent it as a text. I was searching someone on Facebook just to lurk their profile. Wasn't any weird intentions, just someone I used to go to school with and was curious to see how her life was going. A few minutes later I realized instead of searching her, I'd posted her name as my Facebook status. Alcohol was potentially involved. I work at a bank and this lady came in with a $150,000 check, and to make conversation I was like, "Oh wow, I wish I had one of these." Then she did us was like, "It's a life insurance check." I would rather have the person. I just asked Siri if a certain boy would ever text me, and she sent a text saying, "Will you ever text me to him?" My funeral will be held at 8 PM this Thursday. Went on my first dinner date at 17. Wanted to make a good impression. Laughed during the meal and some pasta shot out my nose and landed on her hand. If that happened today it would be epic, but not back then. My boss reached his fist towards mine for knucks. I misread the situation and thought he was extending an imaginary microphone. I leaned over his fist and said, "Hello there. Taking Spanish 101. Teacher pairs me up with a cute girl. She smiles and we start having simple Spanish conversation. I then sneezed and farted at the same time. She looked horrified. I went back to my dorm room and dropped the class. There was a 20 minutes wait at a Thai place. But I wandered over to the massive fish tank. I made faces at one particular fish, crossing my eyes and wiggling my ears. 10 minutes later, I realized that the restaurant's entire seating was on the other side of the tank, watching me. 5 years ago, a guy sitting next to me in class slid me a piece of paper with a number sign, so I gave him my number. He just wanted to play tic-tac-toe. My date let me out of the car to wait on the curb while she parallel parked. After 3 failed attempts she drove off. I walked home. My dentist asked his assistant to suction the water out of my mouth, but I thought he was talking to me, so I sucked his finger. I'm mortified. After flunking a job interview, got up, shook everyone's hands, and walked into the coat closet. A friend went placed her order at drive-thru. She then heard, "Could you drive up to the speaker? You're talking to the trash can." Called in sick to work one day. Saw one of my students at the beach. We nodded as we both realized we were skipping my class. Today at work I let someone into a dressing room and they said thanks and half of me tried to say "you're welcome" and the other half tried to say "no problem" and I ended up saying "your problem." I had to go to a library to pay a fee and I was practicing in the car between "I have to pay a fine" and "I have to pay a fee" and I walked in and firmly stated "I have to pee" and slapped a $5 bill on the counter. The fee was like 10 cents and walked out. This was like 3 years ago and I still haven't been back. My friend was driving and we were almost past our turn off. So I tried to say quick and fast at the same time and I ended up screaming quack, which ended up with him judging me very hard and missing the turn. New developments. Apparently my mom is not even home and the person I hear puttering around the house is the carpet cleaning service. I've been yelling "grill me cheese" at them for 20 minutes. Pregnant cashier, have a great day. Me, thanks, have a great baby. If you think you've ever once said anything awkward, you should know my health teacher once said 6 isn't that great, and I blurted out, because you're not doing it with me, and everyone stared at me. Bruh, I'm high AF at Wimmet and after round, and went in the women's restroom. I've been trying to leave for 10 minutes, but they keep coming. I asked a coworker with what his son's name was, and he answered Legolas. After 2 seconds of laughing, I realized he wasn't laughing. His son is actually named Legolas. Sandwich shop cashier, what's your name? Me. Oh, I have a boyfriend. Cashier, for the sandwich. I went to a Six shop with my wife for the first time. The store assistant greeted me with, "Nice to see you again." Pulled into gas station, and was on wrong side of the pump for my gas cap. Drove around to other side, and did it again. Drove away. If you're ever embarrassed about something you've done in your relationship, just remember that. When my girlfriend touched my boob for the first time, I said thank. Mom decided she wanted to repaint my room in junior high. My bed was pushed against the wall, so it had to be moved away a little to paint. As she pulled the bed away, she discovered at least 100 crusty cum socks that I had forgotten about over the years, that I had stuffed between the bed and the wall, so she wouldn't find them. The look of disgust on her face still haunts me. One time this kid sneezed in class, and I said goodnight. One time in 7th grade we were having a discussion on parental punishment. One student said he has a friend whose parents put him in the oven when he was misbehaving. I, not realizing how horrible it was, said maybe he was Jewish. I was promptly sent to the school counselor. I now feel sorry for saying that, and regret being so offensive. Damn, it was awkward. Math teacher, we are gonna try to fix this word problem. He needs to fix the motor, so the motor would just beat itself off to death. Me, that's how I wanna go. Class gets silent but laughs. Teacher, what? Me, what? Teacher, what? In retrospect, so I guess we would all look the same. If we were made into sausage was probably weird small talk for a funeral. Today at the mall I saw some boy using a vibrator to massage his face, and I silently thanked the Lord for camera phones. Without thinking, I once tried to shake an amputee's hand. He stuck out his arm in an unoffended way to show that he was unable to shake my hand, and to diffuse the situation with only minimal amounts of awkwardness. I, for some reason, took this as a gesture to shake his handless arm. It was cut off at just above the elbow, so I had to really reach for it, which resulted in uneasy laughs and goodbyes. I was once in a pregnancy class, and I was trying to explain a blood disorder I have. I meant to say it is something like hemophilia, but instead I blurted out I have necrophilia. I once told a girl I liked her brother. By accident. See, what I meant to say was I like your bra, but as I was saying that I thought to myself, oh, I probably shouldn't say that as it will give away that I've been looking through the folds on the front of her button-up shirt to the bra underneath. So bra and O got mixed to form bro, and I said I like your bro. She looked at me funny and said I don't have a brother. You must be thinking of my cousin. He's not gay though. I walked away, wondering what the F just happened. Had my laptop hooked up to a projector for a work meeting with execs. Received an email from a friend. What the F is a hubbub? I was looking for clip-on sunglasses to go over my prescription glasses. Asked the pharmacist at CVS if they sold strap-ons. I was dropping my car off for a detail and a hand wash. I walked up to the counter, put my keys down, and said detail and a hand job. I died inside that day. My cousin said I looked good and was losing weight. Without thinking I said thanks, you too. Then I realized she just had a miscarriage. Still cringe thinking about it. Saw a hot guy in line and was pretending to squeeze his butt. He stepped back into my hands while I was squeezing. I ended a supposedly professional work email to Alcoholics Anonymous with cheers, Sarah. 8 years ago today but dialed my mom during sex. Worst part wasn't even her finding out I was having sex, it was that she thought I was somewhere dying in a ditch. Easily most embarrassing moments of my life. I'm glad Time Hop is here to remind me of it. My life is actually over. I just found out when you screen record someone's Snapchat it says you took a screenshot of it. About to delete the whole app. I just accidentally said I love you when hanging up with the auto shop guy, so I'm just going to leave my car there and buy a new one. My mom just accidentally prematurely sent an email to an accounting firm. It was supposed to say I'm afraid that we will have to postpone our meeting, but she hit send when all it said was, "Hi Jeffrey, I'm afraid." Screaming, just hugged my dentist thinking he was going in for one, but really he was just taking off my dental bib. Don't think I can ever recover from this. Matched with someone on Tinder. He invites me to a bar/grill for drinks to meet. I get there, his whole family is there, and then I find out it's literally an hour after a family funeral. Then he sang awkward karaoke, and then told his family I was his girlfriend. My aunt wandered into an open air restaurant in Greece, sat down, she had no Greek, they know English. So she pointed at what others were having. They brought her wine and food. Only when she tried to pay, and they refused, did she realize she just crashed someone's wedding party.